supposed to do recreationally, not something they were supposed to do for their own benefit. They were doing that ministry to the people for God.
Right.
And they were doing that in a way that was discouraging to the people that were bringing their gifts. And I can't help but think that if you get into this whole changing the coins and then buying the animal, and I'm thinking that maybe they were buying the animal for a price that they never would have paid for it back home, that these guys had a similar spirit to Hophni and Phineas with what they were doing.
Right. Tradition has two explanations why Jesus was very upset. The first one, they were gouging the people. They were charging them $20 for a gallon of milk.
Nice milk.
Even though milk was $5 a gallon. Oh my gosh, we can hardly believe that now. You know, $20 for a loaf of bread, even though a loaf of bread is even $5 now. They're charging them $20 for a gallon of gas, which we almost got there, kind of, when it was $6 and $7. Yeah, you know. So they were dishonest in their rate of exchange. They were taking advantage of the people. They knew Daniel traveled 200 miles, and he needed an animal to sacrifice. What are you going to do, buddy? Go somewhere else and buy you an animal. Mine's $20. Go find someone that's going to sell it for $5 this time of the year. Go find someone that even has an animal to sell, because this is Passover. There's thousands or hundreds of thousands or whatever the number is going to be coming to this place to buy animals. And I've only got one, Daniel. This is the last one. You may be the last one to be able to give your sacrifice. They were taking advantage of the people. The second thing I think is even worse. There's tradition that they were entwined with the priests. They were so entwined with the priests, they only needed 2 sets of animals or 3 sets of animals, because what they were so dishonest that they would sell the dove, because that's all Daniel could afford. They sell the dove to Daniel. Daniel would take it to the priest. The priest would turn around and bring it right back to them and say that he sacrificed it. That's horrible. Understand, Jesus is pretty upset right now. And those are the two traditional things that we have from tradition that says that's why. But it was deeper than that. Those are two natural things that would really tick you off as a person in charge of a system. You're dishonest, and then you're gouging, and you've rigged the system. So I only need 3 or 4 sets of doves. I just sell Daniel dove, he brings me the same dove back, and I'm like, that dove looks just like the one you gave to Daniel.
All does look like, you know.
Right up. You know, so here's Jesus. These are 2 of the things he's ticked off. But that's not the main reason Jesus is ticked off. We're about to find out. This is the main reason he's ticked off. Let's see. Verse 17. He began to teach and saying to them, "Is it not written, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations, but you've made it a robber's den?"
Goes back to either interpretation, really.
Yeah. See, I'm mad because you're taking advantage of the people, but I'm also mad this is supposed to be a house of prayer. And if I'm remembering right, this is the only place the Gentiles could go. They couldn't go any further, right? I'm assuming this is probably in the outer court. That's the only place the Gentiles could go to meet with the Israeli God, or the nation of Israel's God, the true God that we know. This is the only place that Gentiles at that time we could go until Jesus come and changed the system and showed us the truth of the system. So Jesus is like, you're not even allowing the Gentiles to come and speak with the Father. You're not allowing the Gentiles to come and pray to the Father. You're not giving up, you're turned it into a den of thieves. You're not allowing the people that want to come pray to the Father the opportunity to pray to the Father, because there's so much chaos happening in here, and you're thieves. The temple. For this reason, I'm going to say that you can ask whatever you want, according to God's will. If you truly believe it, you can have it. There's a system God set up for us to go to Him boldly, to His throne of grace, and ask His will. But a lot of things are changing, and a lot of systems are changing, and it's like, Hey, my TV show says if you give me $1,000 today, I'll go to God and He'll send you a $10,000 check within the week. We've turned it into a den of thieves. Hey, if you start going to church, God will bless you, and it'll be all puppy dogs and roses from here on out, and all your problems will be taken care of.